Howdy, today Bungie decided to be sneaky and give us the exotic quest for the brand new exotic SMG, the Barrow-Dyad. Let it be known right now that in order to finish acquiring this exotic, you have to be, I think, at least rank 4 for the current episode, so be sure to check at Erismorn's apartment if you can't remember what rank you are. If you're too low a rank, you might want to wait on getting this gun. Also, apologies, I recorded this live on Twitch and I had an image in the top left corner of my OBS of the new emblem you can get from subscribing. That's just going to be up for the entire guide, might be. To get started, you need to have a bit of RNG on your side. Start by launching the Nether. Did it in Explore mode, but I'm not sure if that really matters or not. And you're looking for a large taken blight to appear in the sky. This blight will not have been around in week 1. It should be brand new. As to where exactly this blight will be, it seems to be random. While doing this quest live on Twitch, some of my chat mentioned it appeared for them in the Trenchway. The most popular area I heard about though was the Hall of Souls. That's where I found mine. When in the Hall of Souls, there should be an area, basically the entrance hallway to the Taken King raid, where there's a tormentor. If you look up at the ceiling in that room, there should be a large taken blight near the ceiling. Jump up on ledges towards it, and when you're close enough, it should begin to suck you in. Again, if the blight is there or not seems to be dependent on RNG. We launched into the Nether many times and went into the Hall of Soul many times only for the taken blight to not be there. Therefore, due to the beginning of this quest apparently being tied up in a bit of RNG, you could potentially do what we did. Take your fire team if you have one, and each of you launch the Nether on Explore individually and repeatedly. If one of you spawns into the Hall of Souls area, go look to see if the taken blight is in the tormentor room. If it is, then have your friends join you on your instance. Anyway, when you find the taken blight, again, there could be others elsewhere, but ours was in the Hall of Souls, jump up towards it and get sucked into the blight. You'll basically be taken into the blight itself, and you'll learn a weird little mechanic that will come up several times during this exotic mission. There will be a blank rune circle on a green hive wall with a small plate on the floor next to it and an arrow pointing towards that rune circle. There will be a blank rune circle on a green hive wall with a small plate on the floor next to it. You need to teleport to the other side of the green wall. To do that, stand on the plate and you'll get text in your HUD indicating that you're going to hear a whisper coming from a certain direction. Here's the process you need to do in full. Step 1, step on the plate facing the rune circle and then shoot the rune circle. Step 2, step off the plate in the direction that the whisper text in your HUD tells you to. Do that correctly and you'll get teleported in the right direction. Take note though, while we were doing this quest, we accidentally brute forced this mechanic apparently several times. So if you see me not follow my own instructions in the footage that you're watching, that is why. But yeah, step on the plate facing the rune circle, shoot it, and step off the plate in the direction the whisper in your HUD tells you to, and you'll get teleported, which is what you want. If you're with a group of friends, there might be a cooldown of a couple seconds on this mechanic, so just be patient. When you're on the other side of the wall, collect the taken osseous fragment in front of you, then hop back through the taken portal to get back to the Nether. You can finish the Nether if you want, but if you want to just stick to the exotic quest, you can quit out of the Nether right now and head back to Erismorn's apartment and interact with the shaping slab in the corner of the room. You'll now be offered an exotic quest called the Taken Path. Your first step on this quest is to unlock and equip the Scotopic rune. So just reopen the shaping slab in Eris's apartment, click on the runic enhancement option, and then unlock the rune in the 7th slot, aka the Scotopic rune. The next step of the quest wants you to find something the Hive have concealed somewhere in Sorrow's Harbor. Go to Sorrow's Harbor and you're actually going to want to head into the K1 Revelation Lost Sector. When you're in the Lost Sector, you should see this, a small taken dome that you can get access to by shooting the little mini blight right on top of it. You'll notice that with the taken dome gone, there's another plate on the floor with a little arrow on it, and next to that plate on the floor, there should be a small wall with another rune circle on it. Just do here what we did earlier. Step on the plate facing the rune circle, shoot it, and step off the plate in the direction indicated by the whisper text in your HUD. To repeat, we brute forced this part by accident many times because we were stupidly excited trying to figure out what to do and solved it by mistake, but that is what you should do. If done correctly, you'll get teleported and a bunch of Taken should spawn into the Lost Sector. Kill all of them, and when they're dead, a new Taken ogre should appear called a Keeper of Power. He'll spawn into the room and kill it, and when it dies, grab the Taken osseous fragment that spawns into the room. Your next step is to find the Taken osseous fragment the Hive concealed somewhere in the Forgotten Shore. Load into the Skywatch area on the Cosmodrome and head towards the Forgotten Shore area. When you're there, go directly into into the Veles Labyrinth Lost Sector. In that part of the Lost Sector, when you're going through the maze area in a cave, keep looking around and exploring that maze cave until you come across this. Another small taken dome that you can break by shooting the little mini blight above it. You'll get another plate on the floor. Do what we did earlier. Stand on the plate, shoot the rune circle, and step off the plate in the direction that the whisper in your HUD tells you to. You'll get teleported to yet another plate. Do the exact same thing one more time. After doing a second plate, you should get text on your HUD that says Taken Energies Strengthen, and now you'll have to fight and kill a bunch of Taken. Head back into the maze area from earlier, still in the Lost Sector, by the way, and you'll find more Taken to kill. Keep heading into the tunnels in the direction of the Taken, and you'll eventually wind up in a room with another Keeper of Power Taken boss. Kill all the Taken, including the Keeper of Power, and grab your next Taken Osseous Fragment. Your next step is to pick up the data from Sloane. Head back to Erismorn's apartment and interact with the slab, and you'll now pick up 3 different quests. Don't worry, they are intertwined. You've got the Curse of Endurance, the Curse of Urgency, and the Curse of Revenge. In order to progress the exotic quest, you need to bang out all 3 of these side quests real quick. You don't have to go in order, so we're starting with Curse of Revenge. Open the directory and load into the Nightmare Hunt Pride. Note, even though there is a Curse of Revenge waypoint on the moon, leading you to believe that you should land normally and head to that waypoint, don't do that. It's a bait and a waste of your time. Just click on the regular Nightmare Hunt Pride launch button and launch the activity that way. Go through the Nightmare Hunt normally until you're in the boss room. You'll see a Taken bubble in the corner with an interaction option inviting you to, quote, accept the Curse of Revenge. Do that and you'll become Taken with the ability to kinda shoot Taken lasers out of your hands. It's kinda weird. You'll have a Taken soul timer at the top of your HUD in this form. You can extend this timer a little bit by getting kills. If the timer expires though, you'll die. However, if you're in a fire team with people, no biggie, they can just revive you right away. When Skolas is dead, go to the area in the room where you became Taken to begin with and dunk your Taken power into that area on the floor indicated by the waypoint marker thingy. Congratulations, that is the Curse of Revenge done. By the way, you'll notice that at this point in my guide, it says we've done 2 out of 3 of these quests, even though I've only gone over 1 so far. That is because earlier, when we were on the moon heading to the K1 Revelation Lost Sector, we passed a Guardian who apparently was on the Curse of Endurance part of the quest, and when he finished that part of the quest, we got progress for it by accident, even though we hadn't even unlocked that part of the quest yet. I'm assuming that the Curse of Endurance quest is pretty short and easy, just like the Curse of Revenge. Again, there's a chance you can get it completed by accident if you're on the Altar of Sorrow and someone from a different fire team is completing it. If I need to, I'll put extra information in the pinned comment, but again, can't imagine completing the Curse of Endurance part of this quest is anything but straightforward, just like the Curse of Revenge. Just follow the instructions it gives you, or hell, go directly to the Altar of Sorrow and have another fire team complete it for you, I guess. Next up, the Curse of Urgency. Open up the EDZ and head to the Sludge location, then make your way to the Hallowed Grove Lost Sector. Just like the Curse of Revenge, there will be a location in the Lost Sector where you can interact with and accept the Curse of Urgency and become Taken. Like before, go through the area and kill enemies in the Lost Sector with your Taken hand beams until you've beaten the Lost Sector, and you can now dunk your Taken power into the area indicated on your HUD. I think if you're in a fire team and one player does this, you might not be able to dunk your Taken power, but as long as one person is able to do so, you can still progress the quest. Alright, next step. Somewhere in the Nether, something carries the Taken Osseous Fragment. You seek, find it, and defeat it. So load up and head into the Nether again. When you're in the Nether, you are now looking for 3 Hive Thrall statues in total that you need to activate. This is kind of tricky because when you load into the Nether activity, you aren't always taken to the same part of the Dreadnought. Therefore, my statue order may be different than your statue order. I'll show you the 3 that I found and then show you a picture of where I heard the other statue is if you load into that part of the Dreadnought. The Trenchway statue is located in the big wide open area past where you spawn in, where there's a huge trench running through the ship that you can fall into and die. Keep heading in the direction that I'm going, and the statue should be at the very end of this hallway, I guess, at the right side against the wall. Activate the statue and head into the room on your left if you're facing the statue, and kill the boss that should now be in that room. When it's dead, head back to the statue and pick up the Taken Osseous Fragment that is now there on the statue. 1 down, 2 to go. To get to the next statue, just keep going through the Nether as you normally would until you reach the next area of the Dreadnought. For my fire team, that next area was the Founts. To get to the statue, jump on this platform right here and leap up through this hole in the hive window, I guess you would call it, that I'm showing you right now. When you're through, take a right, head forward a little bit, and the statue should be right there on your left. Activate the statue and then kill the boss that should now spawn in directly to your left. When it's dead, turn back to the statue and collect your next taken osseous fragment. Complete that area as you normally would, no matter where in the Dreadnought you are, and proceed forward. Again, where you get sent next in the Dreadnought, I'm pretty sure is RNG, but for us, that was the Hall of Souls. To find the statue, head past the Court of Oryx area by going to the left, and head all the way back to where I'm hopefully showing you right now, near these hanging green string lights, and the statue should be off to your left. Activate the statue, kill the teeny tiny boss that spawns in behind you, turn back to the statue and collect your next taken osseous fragment. Again, at this point in the quest, I didn't need to find another statue because I already had found 3. But if you need to find a statue in the mausoleum section of the Dreadnought, a member of my chat DM'd me a picture of where the statue should appear. Big shout out to Kepro for the following images. I'm imagining that you just go to the statue, walk up to it, activate it, kill the boss like normal, and grab the fragment. Either way, after you found and activated 3 statues in the Dreadnought and collected your fragments, you now need to find the last taken osseous fragment. And you can do so by opening up the directory to the last city and launching the new exotic mission, Derealize, which has an activity power cap of 2015. Take note that there are surges in this activity. You might want to take a quick minute to pause and optimize your loadout before launching the exotic mission, unless Scaro is in your fire team and is yelling at you to just launch. Regarding the exotic mission, the first chunk of that mission should be relatively straightforward. Kill the dread, kill subjugators, and if there are gigantic eyes looking at you, giving you the suffocating terror debuff on your HUD, just look away from those eyes until the debuff goes down. Eventually, you'll get to a part where you kill 2 taken ogres and they'll drop curses on the ground that you can then pick up the way you did earlier. Kill ads until you have an opportunity to dunk your taken curse power somewhere in the room. It'll likely be on top of a gigantic taken blight. Take note, by the way, if you're playing with a fire team, you won't be able to dunk your curses into the exact same location. I had to dunk my curse elsewhere, which I was able to get to by jumping on multiple platforms, kind of like in the Taken King raid final encounter. Do that whole song and dance twice until the boss of the area chickens out and runs into a gigantic taken blight. You'll get teleported into the blight where you'll be able to murder the fleeing subjugator. Now you're gonna have a puzzle, and the goal is figuring out how to leave the room that you're in. There's gonna be a small plate on the floor pointing in a certain direction, and in front of you will be a blank rune slate with 4 different runes above the slate. The symbols from left to right are what you need to lock in one at a time in the blank slate in front of you. In short, if you're looking for a symbol from left to right and the wrong one appears, you should do nothing but stand on the plate and wait. In this example, my teammate stands on the plate and the symbols appear. The symbol that we need first is burger. Yeah, I'm using my own callouts, deal with it, and that's the first symbol we need because it's the symbol on the far left. Fortunately, the correct symbol shows up and we now walk off the plate in the direction that the plate is pointing. In this example, the plate on the floor is pointing to the right, so we walk off the plate to the right, and bam, that is one symbol done. If you stand on the plate and the symbol that appears in front of you is not the symbol that you need, simply remain standing still. Don't move, let the timer expire, you'll get teleported to another room, but you'll have another chance to get a new symbol. If you make a mistake at any point, you have to start the whole symbol process all over again from the beginning. If you're still confused, here's a full example. For us, it went like this. Scaro stands on the plate. The far leftmost symbol is burger, so that's what we need. Burger does appear, and because that's the symbol we want, Scaro steps off the plate to the right, indicated by the direction the plate on the floor is pointing. 1 down, 3 to go. In the next room, the next symbol we need is the Eiffel Tower. Scaro stands on the plate, but the symbol that appears is pizza. We are not looking for that symbol, so rather than moving off the plate, Scaro stays where he is until the timer expires and we get sent to a different room to try again. We're in a different room, we still need the Eiffel Tower symbol. He stands on the plate and luckily the correct symbol appears. Scaro now moves off the plate in the direction that the plate on the floor is pointing. 2 down, 2 to go. We now need the pizza symbol to appear. He stands on the plate and unfortunately we get turret. Scaro stays on the plate until we get teleported. We still need pizza to appear. He stands on the plate. Pizza still doesn't appear, so we wait and get ported again. In the next room, pizza finally appears, so Scaro steps off the plate in the way the floor plate is pointing. We get teleported again until we finally stand on the plate and get turret to appear, the final symbol that we need. He steps off the plate in the correct direction and bam, puzzle freaking over. You'll get teleported to a new area and now it's jumping puzzle time. Head upwards towards the waypoint on your HUD until you get to the final taken osseous fragment. Now, behind where the taken fragment was, there should be a hole in the hive pillar that you can jump into and fall down to the very bottom of. From this location, you're now going to want to start jumping up. Yes, more jumping puzzling, and be warned, this can get kind of brutal eventually. Like the King's Fall raid, there are pistons that are going to rocket out of the wall, and they will murder you if you're not paying attention. In short though, you're trying to jump and make your way to what looks like a gigantic hive shrieker. It's actually something else. Bife was telling us all about it on the mic, but that's not important right now. I'm sure he'll have a lore video up on that later. You're now going to want to jump across this giant hive wall, go through a hole in the wall, and keep heading back until you find another hole in the wall leading you outside to the next giant hive structure thing that you couldn't reach before due to being blocked by a shield wall. From the second giant hive shrieker thing, jump over to the far wall on your right, I suppose, and go through this hole. If you look up and to your left, you should see way off in the distance a giant green shield wall with multiple hive locks on it. You now need to find and shoot 3 crystals in this area. Every time you shoot and break one of the 3 hive locks on the green door will vanish. The first crystal is in this area. It's hard to show exactly where it is, but head up and away from the green shield door and it should be against the wall, I believe, to the left. The footage of this first crystal breaking is from Bife's POV. I didn't actually get to see it too clearly before it was shot and broken. The second crystal should be in the same exact area. It's really hard to give exact pinpoint locations for these crystals because the room you're in is insanely dark and kind of hard to navigate with you having to jump around and hug the wall like a goddamn mountain goat. The third crystal is actually kind of far away. If you're up at the shield door itself, follow this path. Jump down through this hole to your right, back into the room with the giant hive shrieker thing. Do you see Scarrow way over there on the opposite wall? You need to go all the way over there, look up and to the right, and the crystal should be around there. I don't have Scarrow's POV footage, but again, it should be right over on the other side of that wall. When all 3 crystals are broken, you can now head back up to where the green shield door was. It should be gone now. Go right on through and start heading down. Go through another hole in the wall to the third and final giant hive structure. If you're unsure where to go from here, you jump out onto this hive tentacle thing, walk to the very end, and then jump straight up onto these nearby taken balls and keep jumping up until you finally reach a platform. You can now drop a rally flag and finish the last part of the mission, which actually involves you running over and grabbing the exotic SMG before the boss fight. Pick up the gun and then shoot the 3 taken mini blights in the room to begin the final encounter. There's not a lot to the final encounter. There's 2 final bosses, kind of. You got 1 taken and 1 not taken. They will take turns between being shielded and being not shielded. All you have to do is, you guessed it, focus your damage on whichever one is, follow me here, not shielded until they are both dead. You may have to occasionally shoot a few taken blights to progress the encounter, but yeah, just damage whichever boss is not shielded. The final step of the boss fight is to run out of the room the way you entered the room, stand on the plate, and seal the big bad bastard in forever. GG. Note, there's actually more you can unlock with this exotic weapon now that you have it. With the quest done, you can head back to Erismorn's apartment to the shaping slab and accept a new exotic quest, which involves you running around the Nether looking for hidden taken fragments, which allow you to further customize and add more craftable reshape options to the exotic. I've been told this is time gated though. You can't completely finish it today, so I think I'll make another video in the future with every hidden taken fragment location all rolled into one video. Do me a favor, please like and subscribe if today's video helped you in any way. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.